Testing. Okay, good. Okay, great. We are live, guys. Get rid of my gum. Hello and welcome. I'm gonna just put a little. So I got my screens here, monitoring everything. Technical analysis. Let's make sure we have the right. All right. There are a few coins that I'm looking at, okay, today. So, I'm looking at Dodge. I'm looking at CAS. Sui in my forever long. So I have not exited Sui as of yet. Let me just make sure. Oh, the music might be a little too loud. There we go. Okay, there we go. Pump. Ooh. Okay. H bar. All right, we're gonna just do some TA with order flow, okay, on all of these. Let's see what else. Ansem. I do have a point or an interest zone here, okay, for that. So, which is right in this area, in the 0. So let's say 0.963 to 769 area, okay? And pros USDT. All right. if you guys want me to look at anything else with order flow, okay, I'll be happy to do so. You can just drop it in the chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me just share this on X. Well, live. Okay. There we go. And that is me on X. You guys are more than welcome to give me a follow. Okay. Great. Oh, it is still a little hot here. Getting better, but still hot. Still hot. In Europe. Now, first, what I'd like to do is basically explain my indicator, because I know a lot of you have asked about the indicator, what I use. And my indicator is basically it's the PVSRA indicator, okay? And it's price volume support resistance analysis. And I've compared my indicator with the order flow and, with volume on the order flow with delta and so on, and it matches up. So, um, I built this indicator on PineScript. It's available on TradingView free. Okay, I used to pay a lot of money for an indicator exactly the same, except I have a few more things in there. Yeah, but anyway, you're more than welcome to go on to TradingView and basically, get that indicator for yourself. All right. Um, it's my user is FunkyTown Bytes. All right. Okay. So let me make sure. Yeah, everything is good. You guys just, okay. So what exactly? Okay. Okay, so basically, if you've been trading for as long as I've been trading, which is a few years now, and I used to actually, I joined a group and they had these colored candles. And so I thought that was the best thing ever. And it was worth the money that I was paying to actually stay in the group. We've all been in those paid educational groups. And so I stayed in there, and I stayed in there because one of the reasons why was because I wanted to, have access to this indicator, right? So basically, it shows you, okay, where entities or big money is coming in by the colored candles. So these candles, you'll hear sometimes it's called a momentum candle. And I'll just explain the colors, what, for you. So let's just get one chart here. So on my indicator, as you can see here, okay, it's the the FTB trade engine indicator, okay, and you can get that again on TradingView for free. So what I have on it, and one of the reasons why I actually created this indicator, okay, with the help of course, ChatGPT at that time. I think I created in 2024 with ChatGPT and GitHub. Okay, so I have a little coding experience, and I was able to make my own indicator, back tested it. It lines up with all the other paid indicators that have the PVSRA volume candles. Okay, so what you would see here on this indicator, let's go through the EMAs first to begin with. The purple line is the 800 EMA, all right, on all time frames. So anyway, the yellow is the 200 EMA. Then you'll see the blue here. Okay, yeah. Then you'll see the blue is the 50 EMA. And the red and the, you have these red and green, and these two EMAs, these two lines are the 12 and the 21 EMAs. Hold on, let me just hold water. So basically, I use these as guidance, okay? As you already know, indicators are, is a lagging, yeah, it's lagging behind price, okay? Price comes first, and indicators will always come after price. All right, but it helps a lot, okay? And the green, the 12 and 21 EMA, when there is an uptrend, okay, it will turn green. When there is a downtrend, it will turn to red. One of the most effective ways to use the 12 and 21 EMA is on the higher time frame, okay? Because there's a lot of noise on the lower time frame. Here we're on the 3-minute chart. All right, so it'll turn red and green and red and green, except when there is a strong trend. All right, so then after that, I have the VWAP, which is the white line over here. Okay, and I like to use the VWAP on the 3-minute time frame and on the 15-minute time frame. All right, as you can see here. After that, on the indicator, I have the high lows of the week, high lows of the day, and I like to know what the Asian session did. So I also have the Asian session in there, as I use that for, for London to either sweep the Asian high, and for New York to do the, to sweep the low, and so on and so forth. It's just, something that I use as reference. I am in Europe, so I do start my trading sometimes early in the morning. So London time, or I would say pre-London, and then I go on, throughout the day. All right, if I'm scalping. So yeah, that's the indicator. If you go into settings, okay, on the indicator, you have all these different inputs. Now, I also, I've added, let's say, for example, here, your top right corner over here, okay, I'll just add something here. Okay, so why I added that was to enter like basically my system or my strategy rules so that I don't forget. Okay, so if you go there, you can see rules, enter it, and then mantra would be, something that you basically put at the bottom, and yeah, to remind you to, let's say for example, stay disciplined, or whatever mantra you have. I don't really add those anymore, but yeah, at that time I thought it was really cool. You can show date tags, and I only show date tags on the higher time frame, like the 4-hour time frame and above. Okay, I don't really show it on the lower time frame because it does get very busy. Now let's go over to style, and as you can see here, you can choose to select or deselect any of these, different EMAs if you so wish. All right, as well as the VWAP. Okay, you have all these areas here that you can also play around with. According to what you like. Now let's talk about the candles and what do the colors mean. Now they are not your regular, like I said, green and red candles, okay, that you would see in a typical chart. If you if you put your little cursor here, you'll see a great explanation. Okay, so it says here vector candles, and these are called vector candles on the PVSRA indicator. Any you'll hear actually Traders Reality Tino talk about this a lot. He uses this as well in his trading, and I did actually, because I think one or two of his indicators are open source, so I did use some of his stuff, giving credit also in my script to Trader Reality. All right, so here you'll see large. What does it say here? Here you'll see it says large, the explanation, large momentum candles indicating significant volume spikes. So the volume spike threshold. The green candle, okay, on the PVSRA indicator. So the green candle is a 200% volume increase to the upside. So that's a huge momentum candle when you see a green candle in this particular PVSRA indicator. All right. The blue is 150% volume increase on the upside as well. Okay. So a bullish increase in volume at 150%. And now these percentage is basically all of these percentage are calculated as per the previous 10 candles. Okay. So 200% increase in volume as per the previous 10 candles. And it, yeah, so the white is a normal white candle, so a normal red candle, normal volume. The 200% volume red candle is the red candle is 200% volume decrease, okay, to the downside, obviously. The magenta is 100%, 150% volume decrease to the downside. So why do we pay attention to these, volume candles? Well, we pay attention to it because we know that when we see high volume, okay, we know that retail, me and you, we cannot produce these high volumes. So we call that, momentum candles. And we use that to say, okay, where are large entities or institutions or big money is entering or exiting the market. All right. And that is what we have. Now, if you guys have any questions about the candle, you can just put it in the chat. The chat is up here. So I'll keep my eye on it every so often. But yeah. Here you can change the colors. Okay. Now here, the session times, you can, my session time for New York, for the Asian session, that is, okay, Asian range session is 12:30 UTC time to 8 a.m. UTC time. All right. Then you have the 12 and 21 EMA, and this particular, why it changes to red when it's a downtrend or green when it's an uptrend. I actually got that from my professor from the real world. Okay, so he's the one that gets all the credit for this 12 and 20. We call it the bands, okay, the 12 and 21 bands. And that, his credit was also given to him, okay, as per in the script. Okay. So what else do we have? I think that's it. Yeah, it's quite simple. Okay, I only use this candle, this indicator, because when I couldn't afford, okay, a trading view, I guess essential or whatever, then I wanted like one indicator that would cover everything I needed, okay, to yeah, to work with. So you can use this on a free trading view subscription, okay, because you get only one indicator for your trading view subscription, so you can use that on there. Okay, so that is what it is. All right, now just to cover for price, okay, when we look at price action, okay, so the PVSRA, we're not just looking at where price is, but how it's behaving, okay? If it's consolidating tightly, if it's making, for example, an aggressive momentum move using the, the volume candles, the 200% volume candles, it tells us what the market is basically trying to do. Now, the volume is, again, institutional. It's an institutional footprint, okay? And again, I've compared that to the footprint and the delta, which is on the footprint that we see in the order flow, okay? So, support and resistance, okay? You'll see what I look for support and resistance is at key levels, okay? So this candle here tells me that there has been so we're looking at Dogecoin right here. Well, let's go to pros because I have it on that. Okay, so with pros, okay, for example, and I think there was an airdrop for pros, so I'm waiting to see if the, I guess the users that receive the airdrops, if they're going to sell and maybe, enter pros at a cheaper price. It could be. However, on the higher time frame, as you can see here, usually when there is, so this is basically it's the 390, so that's another thing that I created to see what Asia did, so I can understand what New York, okay, or what London and New York would do. But if you just simply go on the 4 hour, it's more or less the same thing. All right, and here usually what I look for is whenever on the 4 hour chart okay, or higher, when I see the 12 and 21 bands turn green, okay, for the second or third time, and it stays above the 12 and 21 EMA, all right, I can assume that it's bullish. Now, this was the first one. Well, this was the first one here, okay, but it didn't stay above really, all right, or it did, and then it came back down. But this was the first one. Oh, here we have another one. You can't win all the time. It won't be correct 100% all the time. Nothing is ever 100% of the time, okay? But there is higher probability if I see now, okay, that price, if I see price is staying above the 12 and the 21 EMA. I don't really expect it to, because what I see here, okay, and I could be wrong, but what I see here is first of all, we see that, price is being pushed down, okay, with the high wick candles on the upside. Okay, if it was a high wick on the downside, then we would know price is being pushed up. We would know, okay, for example, here, we would know that the bulls were in control. Over here, if you look at the candles, you'll know, okay, because there's a greater wick on the upside, so you'll know that price is being pushed down. Okay, so yeah, here it kind of broke out, tried to break out, and it's already disrespecting, okay, the 12, the two green ones here. Okay, it's already disrespecting the 12 and the 21 EMA. All right, so yeah, that's my little indicator that I use. I love it, and I will continue using it. When I have more time, I may improve it, but it works fine for now. So yeah. As you can see here, there's a lot of volume, okay, coming down from pros. Okay, this is a 200% volume decrease on the downside. Okay, it's a momentum bearish candle. All right. Okay, great. So what else do I need to? Now, I do not use, okay, these the indicator alone. Obviously, price comes first, okay, but I also use it with order flow. All right, and like I said, I'm looking for a setup on pros. What are we looking at? First, we're gonna look at the daily. All right, so I'm just gonna make that bigger, okay, and we're gonna go. Let's look at the weekly first, okay? We're gonna just to see, what price is doing. So on the weekly, all right, we are Friday. All right, so yeah, it seems as if we have a reversal here. It looks like a reversal candle, okay, on the weekly, because it's Friday, so we have 2 more days to go. I don't expect it to, in 2 days, Friday, Saturday, let's say Sunday, I don't expect it to just come all the way down here and just like have a collapse. Could happen, but I don't expect it. All right, so if you look at the daily now, okay, we have a lot of momentum candles on the daily, okay, at the bottom. And at the low of last week, that is where you want to see your momentum candles at a key, okay, level. Key levels are high and lows of previous days, high and low of the previous week or month, and the session ranges. So it could be Asian session, it could be the London session, and so on. All right. So far, we are on the daily. So far, we're on a daily, and New York session is opening in about half an hour. So we could be in for a slight, it's going to be the first green on the daily. It's going to be the first green bands turning bands, basically the 12 and 21 EMA. It's going to be the first time that it's actually turning green. So I wouldn't trust that breakout, okay? But it could be a nice little scalp, or, or an intraday trade if you're into that. Then we're going to go to the 4 hours, okay, which is 4 hours is what I like to look at. When I've looked at the weekly, when I've looked at the daily, then I go to the 4 hours. All right, so on the 4 hours, as you can see here, it looks, yeah, it's disrespecting a little bit here, but, we did have a market structure break right over here, and that would be a bullish. Where's my thing? That would be a bullish market. Oh, here it is. Okay, a bullish market structure break. What I also use, okay, to for just in order to know whether or not price will reverse, okay, the move. I'll use the fibs, but the fibs that I use are not your typical fibs, okay? I'll draw from high to low over here, okay? And my fibs are a little different, okay? And this, again, is from my mentor in the trading campus, okay? In the real world, okay? And these are my, basically, these are my settings for it. And it's basically a market maker fib, yeah, value. So, okay, so it's the market maker fib values. And so what happened here, okay, so I draw my fibs from low to high, and what I want to see here is where my reversal comes to. So on this candle, okay, if it breaks obviously the 0.5, okay, and it just touches here the 0.75 and it continues up, then I know that that reversal was just a retest, all right, of the, basically because it broke out of the low of the week. So it could be, and it broke out of the high of the week as well. So let's see, what is today? Yeah, it gave both ways. So yeah, there's a lot of movement in pros. For now, I don't see a setup, so I'm gonna wait until I have real confirmation of of a setup. All right. I don't know if you guys are using, what tokens, or what tokens are you looking at right now, but these are the ones that caught my eye. All right, then I have the 390, which will tell me the Asian range, basically what it did. As you can see here, this is the Asian range, this candle. Then this is the London candle. Okay, so London did not take out the Asian range, nor did it take out the the high or the low of the Asian session. So what is New York going to come and do? Will it take out the highs? Will it take out the lows? All right. As you can see here, we have a nice swing. Okay, a swing low. So that could be fuel to push price up. All right. But as you can see here on this candle, sellers are pushing price down. It could be because of the airdrop. People are selling their airdrops and so on. All right, so we'll wait and see what we find here. After that, we have, let's see here. Where was I? Is this the, so then I have the 1 hour that I look at, okay. And so on the 1 hour, this is your MSB down here, okay. Your MSB is here on the 1 hour time frame, right over here. And by the way, I have a MSB indicator free if you guys want to check that out. You have to play around with it for, how many candles you would like to use to see your MSB. So it is, sometimes I like to use 3, sometimes I like to use, 5, whatever it is. It's a great way to show you how to spot an MSB or a BOS, a break of structure. A BOS is basically when trend is continuing, and an MSB, a market structure break, is when there is a reversal of the trend. Okay, it could be a short trend or what. You usually wait for an MSB for confirmation. All right, so on the 1 hour chart, what are we looking at? So price is respecting the 50% Asia range. There's nothing special right now on the 1 hour that I'm seeing, so I'll scroll down to the 15-minute. Is that an equal low here? So the low here is 35.56 and this one is 30, no, this is 36. So this took out this candle. Okay, good. Oh, it didn't actually. So here you have almost equal lows, okay? Price swept, let's see here. It swept the Asia high, okay, twice, which is what I want to see. And now, well, it could be a downtrend. Price is also above the VWAP on the 50-minute time frame, which is, makes it a buying, all right, trend. If it drops below and it breaks the VWAP, then it's in the selling basically profile. Okay, and then I go down to the 3 minutes, which I love to use to enter my trades. And yeah, so what I see here is that price will break down a little bit, test the 800 EMA on the 3 minute. Let's see, where is the 800 EMA? It will test the 800 EMA. So the 800 EMA is a great EMA to use, in my opinion, to retest, or to gain momentum and to push further up or down. All right, I've noticed that price usually likes to always go back and retest the 800 EMA, whether that's sitting on top price or below price. All right, so let's go back to the 3 minute. Yeah, so this could be a good entry depending on what it does at the 50% Asia range or on the 800 EMA. All right. Which would line up perfectly with the 0.5 fib level. And that would tell me it's a bullish continuation. Okay, so that is what we're looking at as far as pros. Now, on to the order flow. Okay, so this is the order flow that I use. Obviously, you guys, as you can see, you have 1 week. You can get 1 week VIP access if you use my code. You just have to sign up, and then you can, use order flow and just, try to spot things. Let's look at pros. Now, the first thing we're going to look at, and I'll make these screens bigger so that we go through one of them at a time. All right. Above here, what I have here is the SMC structure. So the smart money concept structure, the TPO, time price opportunity, and the footprint. All right. Underneath here, I have CVD spot and CVD perp. Why spot and perp? I like to look at both because CVD spot is real money coming in and out. So it's basically purchasing, okay, the item. CVD perp is obviously leverage, speculative money, open interest, and the funding rate. And I also have something I can share with you guys. I created a lot of cheat sheets yesterday that I'm going to be sharing, okay? But I do have, let's see here, if I can find my cheat sheets. Okay. Here is one. Okay, let me just put that in there. Okay, you guys can take a screenshot of this, okay? Or, yeah, I'm gonna share it eventually, put it in a PDF and share it in my videos and as well on X. So if you guys want, you can follow me on there. And so this is basically what we're looking at, okay? I've also printed it out so I can see, because it's really, there's a lot of moving parts. And yeah, so here you can see funding rates. It could be negative or positive. Then you have price, up or down, and then you have OI, open interest, and it gives you a little explanation and so on and so forth. All right. So, yeah, but I'll put that under basically, I guess on X eventually, sometime this weekend or something. Okay, now let's have a look at, like I said, we were going to do here. So SMC structure, so you have your smart money concept structure. So you'll see your fair value gaps, your order blocks, your breaker blocks, which a breaker block is a failed order block. Okay, and there's many, many more, but I only like to look at basically the fair value gaps or the gaps, okay, bearish or bullish. It's all one color on here. But obviously, if it's below price, okay, it is bullish. If it's above price, it is bearish. You'll see that. Then after that, you will see, okay, that we have the order blocks. Okay, here you have an order block, and if you put your cursor next to it, you'll see exactly what it is. Okay, so it's OB, order block, OB. All right, you have some bearish ones up here. Okay, here, and so on. The next thing we have is the TPO. Now, what I like to see, by the way, for the order blocks, okay, is I like to see a gap. Okay, so in this case, this is a great example. Yeah, this is a great example actually. So here we have a gap, okay, so a bullish gap, and then we had price come back down and created an order block, okay, into the gap, into the bullish gap. So that's a good sign usually. And that is like, the time is at 6:45 New York time. So let's see what price tries to do. I already have 2 positions open. So it's, it's Friday. I don't want to have too many. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I don't think this order block will hold. And one of the reasons why is that if you look at the TPO profile, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. So we have the TPO profile here. You have the sell tail, which is resistance. And then you have the buy tail at the bottom, which acts as support. These are called single prints, okay? So they're great support and resistance. The more tails that you have, so this here you'll see there are 2 tails, and here you have 1 tail. So this is a very weak support, and this is a stronger resistance. Sometimes you can have like, oh, over here. So this is a nice, stronger resistance zone, and on top of it, you have a gap, a bearish gap, right under the resistance level. So that's good. So price would have to work really hard in order to break through all of this to go up. But what I'm expecting, okay, for pros for now, so I'm not going to enter. So I've looked at my price, okay, I've looked at the chart, and now I'm going to go and I'm going to look at the order flow. What I'm seeing here on the TPO profile is I'm seeing an unfinished auction. An unfinished auction, okay, usually you can spot that by the single prints. So over here you have a single print, okay, single print created, and that is by 1 letter. Okay, price opened, and as you can see here, it's A. So these are the first, basically trading. It traded all over here. Price tried to find its balance. Okay, price rejected up here because it's too expensive. All right, and all of this comes back to the auction. The auction theory. Okay, the market auction theory. Under here, you'll see that it's an unfinished auction. And how do we know that? Well, we can see that there are 2 letters. Usually, if you want to see a finished auction, okay, you'll need to see only 1 letter. All right. So what I'm expecting is that price has already broken down from the value area high, which is this brown line here. And the IB, the initial balance, is the IB is a big range here, as you can see. That's a huge range. So what it's going to do is it's going to cover both sides of the IB, the initial balance. So it didn't finish the auction, so I expect price to come back down here, okay, break the IB, the initial balance low, okay, break the IB, and continue downwards. Here we don't have a very strong support area, so I expect it to continue downwards to maybe, well, who knows where. All right, let's look at the chart. $35.91 is the Asia low, so it might go down, or we can look at the 3-minute, $36.99. Where is $36.99? Yeah, no, it's gonna go lower than that. It seems, okay? I can't predict anything. I'm just like, analyzing as I go along. All right, HOD. Yeah, it's probably gonna break under here. What is that? Let me just see. What did I put here? MSB. Oops. All right. Okay, so that is basically what I'm expecting for Pro. So my setup is not ready yet, okay? As you can see here, the funding rate is, it's going back and forth between, it's basically consolidating. You have negative, positive, negative, positive. What we look for with the funding rate is we combine that, okay? And this is a great way to spot reversals and so on. We combine, because the thing about funding rates, and you'll see that with other coins like Dodge, I'm going to show you CAS, yeah, and Uni. Let me see what Uni is doing. Okay, we're not ready yet. So the funding rate, basically, you have to look at that with the open interest. And here's a great example. So when you see extended funding rate, okay, with a spike in open interest, and here you see open interest here, and CVD perp, okay, opening. So you use open interest with your CVD, okay, your cumulative volume delta. So as you can see here, okay, open interest is going up. So open interest going up won't tell you if longs or shorts are opening. Open interest going down will not tell you whether it's longs or shorts are closing. Open interest will just tell you, if it's basically positions are opening or if positions are closing. To see whether it's longs or shorts, you'll have to look at the CVD, the cumulative volume delta. And that is why when you see an extended negative funding, okay, because funding has to reset itself if it becomes extreme positive or extreme negative, all right? So when you see extreme funding, let's remove the TPO so you can see what price did here. When you see negative funding, for example, for an extended period of time, okay, we're on the 50-minute chart here, and you can do this on the 1 hour, 4 hours, daily, weekly, so you can really spot, when you can find a reversal. Now, just because you see negative funding doesn't mean that you have to enter into a long right away. You wait for your confirmation, your market break of structure, your gap, okay, and so on. When you see negative funding and you see open interest spiking, okay, like over here, for example, all right, you see negative funding, you see open interest spiking, okay, and with the open interest spiking, you can see with the cumulative volume delta that longs are being opened, okay, longs are being opened. Also, you would like to see spot go, moving up as well, showing that real value, okay, people are actually buying in spot, okay, the token. All right, so you use all of them together to give you a clear picture of what is going on. And again, you can use this on the daily, okay, to get a better picture. All right, so here we see a little spike in open interest. We see negative funding. All right, over here we see a little spike in funding, but the spike in funding is telling me, if you look at the CVD, okay, the spike in the open interest, sorry, you can see CVD perp going down. So yeah, positions are, closing. So if you see the open interest here spiking and you look at the CVD, that will tell you that shorts are opening, okay? If you saw the open interest spiking with CVD green, okay, you would know that new positions are opening long, okay? But in this case, it is shorts. Shorts are opening and shorts are closing. All right, so it depends. Okay, so you can keep an eye on that and see basically how you use it. If you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to put it in the chat. Okay, next on. And I do also have a cheat sheet, of course, for open interest, okay? Open interest with funding, the whole matrix, basically. Just see where I have it. Okay. And here is my cheat sheet. Okay, great. So, oops. Next, we have, okay, great. Okay, next we're going to go through the order flow, okay, over here. And I'll just make that bigger. So I usually like the TPO here as well so I can see what price is doing, okay. Here you have the order book profile. So these are orders waiting. As you can see here, you have a huge short order, okay, right at this liquidity pool here. And this is your liquidity heat map, okay. You can, move your little things up here to, show you the threshold of liquidity you'd like to see. But as you can see here, there's a lot of liquidity up here, and so you have a large order short, okay, waiting to happen. Now, the liquidity heat map will show you stop losses, it will show you resting orders, it will show you everything. So it's a liquidity pool, okay, and yeah, you use that. You'll see often that price, okay, or orders from the order book, you'll often see that it's at large orders, okay, are at the higher liquidity area. And why is that? Well, you want high liquidity so that if it's a large order, so let's say, an institution or a whale or whatever is, wants to place an order, okay, wants to execute an order with minimal slippage. And slippage is the price that your limit order is the price that you think you're going to pay and the price that you actually get filled at, okay? So they do, they place large orders at these liquidity pools so that, they can minimize the slippage, okay, on very large orders. And as you know, if you place a large order or any order, right, but the larger the order, the higher the slippage, okay? So to prevent that, you use these high liquidity areas, okay? So as you can see here on pros, you have a huge sell order at 3,800. If you look at the chart, what is at 3,800? Okay, so that's a retest of the Asia high session, all right, over here. So a retest of that here, okay, would, yeah, there's a huge order waiting there. All right, they could also want to, oh, look at this. We have here, okay, a basically an unfinished auction. Okay, here 38, 38, 38. So here, if you look at price, you'll see right over here we have a a double basically a equal high, exactly the same price. And that is what I like to see. So, it lines up perfectly with here, the order that is waiting here at this liquidity area, a retest of the value area high, which is this brown line here, before price actually makes this move and take out basically over here, which is the unfinished auction, the double or no single print. Okay, there's no single print under here, so that makes it a very weak, or actually there is no resistance support at this area over here. And you have your initial balance, okay, which is initial balance being so wide, okay, one up here and here for the session makes it a great basically a range, so you can catch both of them sometimes. Yeah, so that is what we have here. Liquidity heat map, order book, profile, large orders. We don't have any large orders yet for, let me just see here. Large limit orders, okay, yeah, we don't see anything yet for pros. It might be because it's very new, so there is hardly, less data on there. Okay, what happened to Dodge? Oh, jeez. Wow, it took everything out. Well, we'll go just, we'll go over this first and then we'll go to Dodge. So I got stopped out of Dodge, but yeah, it is what it is. Next, we're going to go through the liquidation heat map, and everybody knows what that is. Liquidation levels, heat map. All right. Okay, so here you have your liquidation levels. Okay, the higher or the darker, the yellow or the orange are higher liquidation levels. Okay, so it is okay, mid, okay, so the red, orange, yellow is high leverage, medium leverage, low leverage, okay, and then you have the profile colors. Let's see here. All right, so you have a huge liquidation area up here, but I'm not sure if price is going to go there just yet. All right. Yeah, and then you have your just liquidation heat map. All right, this is your liquidation heat map. The brighter the color, the orange, the yellow here, okay, the higher the liquidation area. All right, so let's see. All right, let's go to see, and that is it for pros, guys. So basically, I'm gonna wait and see, all right, how price, if price is gonna first take out this double equal high up here on the 3-minute time frame. If price is gonna take that out and then proceed to the 800 EMA, or if it's going to come to the 800 EMA, retest the 50% Asia range and then move upwards. Okay, so I'll keep my eye on pros. Now, if you would like to see basically how I find these setups on TradingView, if you go on TradingView and you look at, let's see here. So if you go on TradingView and you look at, I have a scanner. Let me just see here. So I have a screener, okay. Oh, give me a second. So here is my screener. And I have, I want to get short squeezes. So short squeezes are basically, little pumps here and there long on the 4-hour time frame so that, it's meaningful. All right. So what I did was I went to basically TradingView. Okay, you go to products, you go to screeners over here, and here crypto coins. Okay, crypto coins. Click on that, and you can set up your own kind of screener. Okay, so you can custom your screener. I have one. It's called the 4-hour band crossover. So the 4-hour band crossover, and as you know, my bands are the 12 and the 21 EMA. Okay. Yeah, so what I did here is I entered the exponential moving average, so the EMA, and the 12 on the 4-hour time frame, okay? And then what I wanted was, first click on manual setup actually. So exponential moving average, 12 and 4 hours. Then you choose, if you want to find bearish setups, you choose cross down, okay, or crosses up. I want to find bullish short squeeze, okay, so crosses up the exponential moving average and crosses up to what? Crosses up what? Okay, it crosses, so the 12 should cross the 21 EMA, all right, on the 4-hour time frame. And that is how I can see, okay, different setups. Now, I don't want all of these, but for now, these are the ones that are crossing up. Let's say, for example, let's have a look at this. I don't even know what it is, Dodo. Let's have a look. All right, DODO, because yeah, my indicator doesn't work with the just crypto. It has to be Binance or something. All right, USDT, and I trade USDT. There we go. I like to use Binance, but if Binance is not available, then I guess KuCoin? I don't know. Oh yeah. So is it so here we go. All right. This could be a great setup because it was green, red, and the second green, okay, where it's probably in an accumulation phase. All right, could be worth it. It already took off on the 3-minute time frame, but don't focus so much on the smaller time frame. A lot of times I like to zoom out as well. It doesn't look that great though. I mean, I don't know what Dodo is, so I like to stick to the bigger tokens, especially the bigger ones with, institutional backing. But lower market cap, okay? And pros is one of those. So let's close the though. All right, let's see here. So that is how you can find your setups. All right. Now let's go over. Let's see what happened to Dodge. I thought I had a setup on Dodge. It came. I didn't expect. Well, you see, there we go. I didn't expect it to actually take out this area here as well. I expected it to stop somewhere here, but it didn't stop. Damn. Well, it is what it is. So here we have a spike in CVD. All right, we have a spike in open interest. And so if you would like to know who is here, we have a long being opened. Let's go on to the higher time frame so that we can see what's going on. Okay, 15-minute time frame. Nope. So I was expecting, I was in a long, I got stopped out. And yeah. Okay, here we go. So yeah, price down, CBD spot down, CBD perp down, open interest down. So yeah, that is harmony. All right, we would expect more down movement or a continuation of the downtrend. All right, where is it going? All right, lots of large orders sitting here. And yeah, it's so this is a short. Okay, it can be a great short scalp. Let's see Dodge on this side here. Yeah, so this candle is a big hint of what is happening. This is a stopping volume candle over here. All right. Oh, we have New York open, and let me see my CAS. All right, there we go. Damn. 2771. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm still in my long. I'm underwater, but I'm still in my long for CAS. What is going on? Let's see here. All right, let's see. Where is it going to? Oh. Oh, it's coming here. Okay, here is your liquidation area on CAS. All right, so it's going to come take all of these guys out. And then probably reversed, I hope. 0-1. Okay, I'm good. All right, my position is still good, but I expect it to come and take all of these, yeah, get all this liquidation down here for CAS, okay? And again, the liquidation here is, this is low leverage. This, you know, the redder or the darker, the red or the orange is higher leverage. And of course, this kind of green here is medium leverage. All right. So that's what I expect. It's coming for liquidity at 26.75. If we look at 26, whoa, 26.75 up here. All right, 2675. Yeah, it's gonna break the LOW low of last week. Shoot. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, well. If you look at, let's see here. Let's refresh that. Ah, there we go. Now, if we look here, you'll see funding is probably unsustainable, okay, for CAS. So what I do is I like to mark out sustainable and unsustainable funding. A great example of that would be, let me see where I marked it out. Oh, here we go. Here's a good example. I like to mark out where is unsustainable and sustainable. Okay, so if price goes up here, for example, for uni, I know we can expect a flush. I know if price goes under here for uni, then we can, negative funding goes under here, then we can expect a reversal. Okay, so I like to use those, just those little things as, you know, little nuggets to help me in my trading. So CAS is on its way down, as you can see. Extended funding rate, positive funding rate, couldn't hold it up. All right, and then you have a spike in open interest. Okay, so that was long was open, and then, well, open interest just fell off. Okay, as you can see here, it's going down. So open interest is going down. CVD perp is down. CVD, well, let's see here. Is CVD spot down as well? Yeah. All right, on the 15-minute chart, okay, and that is CVD spot down. So that tells me there is momentum and it will continue, which lines up with the low of last week. All right. This actually is a great resistance support here. There's a huge sell buy tail right over here. Okay, so that's a very strong support. So it could just like switch over like right now, which would be great for my long. All right, if you look at the delta, let's have a look at the delta and see what CAS is doing on delta. We have, okay, so when we look at the delta, and the delta is the buy minus the sell, will give you the delta. When you see, all right, so you have the total, in each candle, you'll see the total buy and sell together, so total. And the color on top, whether it's red or green, would tell you whether it's negative or positive delta. So it's the minus, the buy minus the sell will give you the delta. And the 10.2K, for example, over here is 10.2K more selling than buying. All right. Here we have some positive delta. So let's see. So what we want to see with delta is we want to see the effort, and the effort in this case is negative delta, so selling. So we want to see the result of selling is that price goes down. The effort of positive delta is that price goes up. If you see, okay, the delta is either negative or positive and doesn't go down or up, and it's, you know, it's in one place, it's stagnant, then that is what we call absorption. Okay, and that is what we look for example, in these support and resistance zone. Okay, you want to see some kind of absorption. All right, so here I hope this acts as support. I don't know. Okay, so here we see a lot of negative delta. Here we had some positive one. Huge volume. No, this is not huge volume. All right, so let's see if it's going to go back up. As you can see here, the IB initial balance, okay, low and high is 28.25. Oh, so it's right here. IB high and IB low. This is your initial 2 30-minute, so 1 hour candles, okay? 1 hour session is where your IB is basically, okay, where it's drawn. Let's have a look at CAS and let's have a look at the, I don't like all these lines on my chart. Let's have a look at what is going on. Let's get rid of the liquidity heat map. Oh, well, let's have a look here first. Okay, so this is your order book, okay, profile here. And as you can see, there are two huge orders sitting at 26.40 and 27.31 just about. All right, with liquidity pools right over here. So what is going on at these prices? Do we have a key level at these prices? Let's have a look. So at 27.33, what do we have here? 27.33. 27.30. Oh. So here is 27.33. And here is 26.41. Now, even though these orders are big, sometimes they're pulled from the order book, okay? They can be orders that, you know, it's used so that, you know, they put it there so that you can see that there are huge orders there and you think price is going to go to that area and you get into a short and then they pull it and they liquidate you by going up, you know, by reversing that. These are limit orders, okay? So this is not executed orders. It's just order book, okay? Orders that are waiting to get filled. But those orders, like your limit orders, sometimes you can simply pull it, okay? You can cancel your limit order. Same thing here, all right? So you don't, you know, don't base your trading decisions based on whether you have a large limit order under here or, you know, wherever it is. You want to see it executed before, okay, you base your decisions. And plus, you know, you look at a lot of confluences. Price comes first, as always, but you look at your order flow, you look at your TPO profile, unfinished auction, your open interest, your cumulative volume delta, your funding rates, oh gosh, all of them, right? So your liquidation heat map and so on and so forth. All right. Okay, so this here is a great example. This is a stopping volume candle. Okay, so as you can see, volume is going, you know, we're going in a downtrend over here. And this candle as a vector candle, okay, so a stopping volume candle is usually a vector candle. Sometimes it doesn't have to be. So this is a stopping volume candle. It stops the down, you know, the volume going down. And you can see the same thing at the top. Okay, so here is a stopping volume candle. Now, a stopping volume candle doesn't mean that there is a reversal. And a stopping volume candle would be a huge wick, okay, as you can see here, a huge wick, okay, with a smaller body. All right, so yeah, so this is a stopping volume candle. When we have a stopping volume candle, all it's doing is it is stopping the volume. It's not a reversal candle. To find a reversal candle, okay, it would have to be a candle, or price would have to take out this stopping volume candle in order for the reversal candle to come. Here's a great example. All right, this is a stopping volume candle, and then we have one of these candles which takes out the stopping volume candle, and then price reverses. Now you can also look at market structure breaks, okay, for price to actually come, all right, to verify or to confirm that you have a change in trend or in structure. Now let's look at, oh yeah, we don't have large orders on CAS, which is too bad. Okay, some new coins, tokens we cannot see large limit orders, which is, I love to see those. And yeah, we can't see that on here. All right, so obviously in this large liquidation area, okay, this is your stopping volume candle here. And what price is going to do, it's going to trick you into thinking that this is it. You're going to jump in here. You're going to put your stop loss right under here, okay? Right under this area here, okay? And price is going to come back and take this one out, take the rest of this liquidation area out, and then you'll get stopped out. All right, so pay attention to that. Not financial advice. It's just what I've learned, and I'm just passing it on. Okay. So, huge open interest spike here, but here. So here we have open interest. That's interesting. Open interest is currently, open interest is going down, okay, here. But we have shorts that are closing. Shorts closing could also mean that longs are getting liquidated. Now, longs getting liquidated, in order for a long to close, you have to have a short order. In order for a short to close, it has to be a buy order. So it could also be that there's a lot of liquidations that are going on here. All right. So, or shorts closing. Okay, do not hesitate, guys, to hit that like. It does help. All right. So no setup in CAS. Now let's go look at Dodge. Same one that I mean CAS, I'm in a long. So I expected though to come down here, here, and then reverse. All right. Next, let's look at Dodge. What are you doing? Okay, so here, okay, we have another thing that we can use is the big liquidation. This is a really nice, oh shit, big liquidation, yeah. All right, so for Dodge, what do we look at? Let's look at Dodge here. Yeah, so as you can see here, same play. Okay, we have a stopping volume candle on the 15-minute, same on the 3. On the 1 hour, we have 15 minutes left. All right, so yeah. Oh, I really thought it was ready, but it wasn't. Okay. So what do we look at? Let's look at here, the TPO profile. Okay, so we have some a nice set of single prints. Okay, so this is the support area. This is your buy tail, so a lot of buying will go in here. What I like to see also is that an order block gets created on the buy tail area, or on the sell tail. A bearish order block will get created on the sell tail, and a bullish order block will get created on the buy tail. And I like to look for that as well before I enter. As you can see here, who is closing? So open interest here is going down. Keep in mind we're on the 50-minute time frame. Open interest is going down, so long closing, short closing, or liquidation, and so on. We do have a good funding rate reset, okay, which is great for a reversal. So that is what I was expecting, all right, for Dodge. Didn't happen. All right, well. What else? CBD spot down. Okay, CBD perp down. Cumulative volume delta. So people are selling their tokens, their Dodge. And of course, perps are also speculation is also on the short side. All right. Now, let's move on for Dodge because I want to understand what is going on. Are they going to like pull price down here to this 6760 area, 0.6760? 6760 is right over here. All right. Yeah, probably. What I do expect, okay, for a nice reversal on Dodge is that it goes up to retest the 800 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. So that could be a nice scalp, okay? So long as it takes out this stopping volume candle here on the 15-minute or the, yeah, 15 minute. Take out this stopping volume candle and give me a reversal. Ah, you see, it did actually take out this stopping volume candle on the 4-hour chart. But it's not finished yet. It doesn't seem to be finished to me. All right. Another thing you can look at here is I'd like to see what is happening. Liquidity heat map. Oh, sometimes it is just too busy, so I don't really keep it on. All right, you can see a lot of liquidity resting here. This is where money is resting. So what we can see where money is resting, all right, order book profile as well. Oh. Okay, so what you can see here is you have all of these orders. Now here, large orders, because Dodge is an older token, so you do see a lot of the large orders on the order book, whereas CAS and Pros, you don't see that. So over here, you can see, okay, the large orders that are waiting. Now these large limit orders can be pulled, okay? So yeah, it's only when it is executed that it actually counts. All right, so they can pull these orders from the book when price gets closer to there. And you see that a lot as well because nobody knows what price wants to do, right? But there's a lot of orders over here. So that would be in this area here that is waiting to get filled. All right, so I'm just going to draw a little rectangle here. So that would be my interest zone for Dodge. Obviously, I'd like to see, what price is doing at that area before I enter. Okay, a market structure break or something like that is what I would like to see. Now, Dodge. After that, what else do we have? Okay, oh, and of course the liquidation area. Yeah, it's coming here. So it's coming to 6598. Oh man. 6598. So that would be my interest area, my area of interest, rather. All right. But when it gets to my area of interest, okay, instead of chasing price or chasing the move, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that area of interest. I'm going to look for a market structure break that tells me the trend is changing. And I'm going to target this juicy piece of liquidity right over here. Now this lines up with 75.66. 75.60. Oh, that would be a nice one. 75.66 lines 75. Huh. It lines up with the more or less the 800 EMA on the 1-hour time frame. Now, this doesn't have to happen like in one day, right? This could be a swing trade for a couple of days. Because price is not going to take out the low of the week and then just go and take out the high of the week on the same day. It happens sometimes, but it's low probability that it happens again. All right. Any chats? No chat? You guys, nobody wants to chat. Oh, I do have messages. Top messages. No, I don't have messages. Oh. Well. Let's see here. All messages. No messages. All right, guys. So, yeah, I do this every Friday. I am moving homes, so some Fridays I might have to cancel. But yeah, today is, I'm actually have to get off here because I have a call in 7 minutes that I need to prepare for. What else? Pros. Oh, uni. Uni. Let's go over uni. So I'm waiting for a uni setup. I think the uni setup that I'm waiting for is going to be a good one. All right. What I'm targeting here is, let's make it bigger. Here will be my target. So I'm waiting, okay, for price
so this is an unfinished auction here. Okay, as you can see, you can see these two candles over here. All right, we have, oh, geez. Okay, we have three candles over here. Let's show the chart values. Okay, so you have these three candles on the 4-hour time frame, more or less, or the three, whatever. So you have one, okay, high is 12.27.2. High is 12.28.7, 12.28.1, 12.27.7. So this area here, okay, would be my target. Let me just see in the 4-hour what it gives me. Oh. Here is high is 12.28.1, high is 12.27. Yeah, so this area would be my target. Now that is going to be a sweet, but before that, I guess they'd have to break here, which is another unfinished auction. 10.34, 10.34. Here's another one right over here. Okay, so we have one here. Make that green. And then we have another one over here. We have another one over here. That's how you spot where price wants to come. They don't leave double equal exact same price highs or lows for no reason, all right? They leave it there because it's going to come back and finish up the job. Finish off the job, I should say. Okay. Oof. I mean, I don't know if it's going to go up there, you know. It might not be now for sure, but those are the areas that I'm going to be looking at over here. So basically what has to happen is that price, okay, is going to have to take out all these areas first. Now, we are still in a bear market, okay? So I'm not expecting uni to do anything like magnificently you know, just all of a sudden enter into a bull trend. But we look for short squeezes, and short squeezes are basically when, you know, yeah, short squeezes are just, you know, when you can find a little pump here and there, you take what you get and, you know, you compound for when the real bull market comes along. All right. So I'm waiting for a long. Okay, what I would expect here is that price would come and retest this area. So 366.9 area is what I'm expecting. 366.9. So this area right over here. Oh, there's an unfinished auction here. So I would expect price to take this out here. I don't think a lot of people talk about how to spot these unfinished auctions, especially on the TPO profile. What am I looking for here? Oh gosh, here it is. Yeah, so here you can see one unfinished auction there. So yeah, maybe price would go there and take that out and then reverse. Let's see. So I'm not going to go and enter into a short here and just to come here. Instead, I'd wait for, you know, price to react over here. Okay. And then I would enter into a position. For now, we have price down, CVD spot down, CVD perp down. Funding is okay. All right. So that is a trend continuation for now. I'm talking about intraday trades. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that lines up perfectly with this liquidation area for Dodge. Okay. Uni, sorry. Did I say Dodge before? I meant Uni. Okay. Yeah, you were on Uni. So I expect price to come here, take all of this liquidation area out, and to find balance somewhere down here. All right. It's not going to just take this out and then reverse, right? It's going to continue a little more. Max pain before any reversal. That is the name of the game. You must have max pain. Okay. Well, guys, we'll wait. I'm gonna wait and see. You're more than welcome to use my indicator. Okay, but we're watching the for reversals. Okay, we're watching the liquidation areas, and we are watching funding rates, open interest, CVD spot, CVD perp, um, and gaps. Okay, so bullish gaps with an order block created in that bullish gap at key areas. And I do actually have a cheat sheet for that, but I'm gonna share it another time. I have to run because I do have a call now. Thank you very much, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.